Ryan Blaney grabs his first win of 2024 in an action-packed night at Iowa. In this video, I'm going to break down this week's Iowa Corn 350.
Everybody likes a winner, right?
A three-wide finish.
That was old school ass whipping.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing today, boys.
Not only was this NASCAR Cup Series' first time coming to Iowa Speedway, but it's their first time coming to Iowa in the past 71 years. The last race in the state was in 1953 and was at a completely different track. That being said, there was a lot of skepticism coming into this race from everybody, including myself. Whether it be the partial repave or the fact that this is a short track, there wasn't a lot of optimism coming into this race. However, I'm pretty happy with the product that we got today. With that being said, let's jump into the start of the race. As soon as the green flag dropped, we saw that Kyle Larson was going to be the driver to beat today. After an early caution, Kyle Larson quickly jumped out to a 3-second lead on second place and a 10-second lead on third place by lap 38. At that point, he had already lapped up to 32nd place as well. On lap 51, we saw what was going to become a trend for the rest of the day, with the 16 spinning because of a blown right front tire. At the time the caution came out, Kyle Larson had already lapped up to the 29th position. During the pit cycle, the 99 and the 6 decided to stay out, and Kyle Larson won the battle off of pit road, coming back onto the track in third position. However, on the restart, he was able to regain the lead quickly, passing the 99 coming into turn 3 to retake first position. During the caution, however, the 12 team was obviously able to make improvements and was able to pass the 5 with 10 laps to go in the stage. Blaney went on to win Stage 1, with our Stage 1 finishers being 1, Blaney, 2, Larson, 3, Suarez, 4, Byron, 5, Barry, 6, Logano, 7, LaJoy, 8, Keselowski, 9, Elliott, and 10, Busch. Larson was able to regain the lead at the start of Stage 2. On lap 180, however, we saw the 42 make a 3-wide move to the inside. However, he had a bad entry and ended up washing up into the 10. I really hated to see this for the 10 team. I had high hopes for them today. They had a really fast car in practice and even set the fastest lap time. I was hoping they'd be able to bounce back after a disappointing qualifying run. However, this incident ended up ruining the rest of their day. During the caution, Larson reported to his team that he thought he had a tire going down. Because of that, he ended up being the only car to come down pit road and be able to check out the issues. After looking over the car, the team reported back to Larson that they couldn't find any issues with any of the tires, and they ended up getting back on the track in the 31st position. After the restart, Larson was making quick work of the field and was regaining the spots that he had given up. Later in the stage, we saw kind of a weird incident. The 11 got behind the 5 and ended up shipping him up the track. It was a really odd move by the 11. At this point, the 11 wasn't really having a great day, and he might have just been frustrated. However, there was nothing going on between the 5 and the 11 that would make him do that. Larson came over his radio to his team and said, "What the F was that?" Obviously, he was as confused as the rest of us. A few laps later, on lap 181, the 31 car barely scraped the wall, bringing out what I thought was an unnecessary caution. We had seen much more dangerous situations with cars blowing right front tires on the track prior to this, and there were no cautions. However, at this time, the 31 barely scrapes the wall, not costing him a lot of damage or a lot of speed, and the caution comes out immediately. I was actually really disappointed to see the caution at this point in time because we were at the end of the pit cycle and we were going to start to see these strategies playing out. But instead, it felt like NASCAR killed the momentum of the excitement and threw an unnecessary caution. During the caution, Kyle Larson came over the radio and was asking for answers to the Denny Hamlin situation. For the most part, the team told him not to worry about it and that he was the fastest car on track, and at the end of the day, it wasn't going to be a big deal. And at that time, they were right. Kyle Larson went on to win Stage 2, with our Stage 2 top 10 being 1, Larson, 2, Barry, 3, Elliott, 4, Blaney, 5, Wallace, 6, Hamlin, 7, Buescher, 8, Gilliland, 9, Keselowski, and 10, Haley. In the final stage, on lap 220, we saw a disaster strike for the 5 team. Suarez tagged Kyle Larson's left rear bumper, spinning him into the 11 and into the wall. This damage ultimately took the 5 team to the garage, where they ended up having to replace brake lines and having to fix tow issues. Larson was able to come back on track later in the race. However, at this point, he was 31 laps down and off the pace. At that time, I saw something I was really excited to see, and that was Josh Berry leading the race. I'm going to talk more about Josh Berry later. Eventually, the 12 of Ryan Blaney took the lead, and from that point on, the race got to be a little bit boring. We saw the 24 of William Byron being able to close the gap on him a little bit, but was never able to close the gap enough to be able to catch him. I was actually a little bit disappointed by that. Earlier in the stage, the 24, the 9, and a few other cars took 4 tires, while the 12 only took 2. Really, a 2-tire pit stop should not be able to hold off a 4-tire pit stop for that long. However, we didn't see the tire fall off enough to be able to make a difference. That being said, Ryan Blaney grabbed the win, making it his first win of the year and locking him into the playoffs. Despite what I said about the tires, I was really happy to see Ryan Blaney win this race. He was the second fastest car today behind Larson. Although it would have been exciting to get a win from somebody like Josh Berry or Justin Haley, who was up at the front toward the end of the race, I was really happy for Ryan Blaney. Our top 10 to end the race were 1, Blaney, 2, Byron, 3, Elliott, 4, Bell, 5, Stenhouse, 6, Logano, 7, Berry, 8, Bowman, 9, Suarez, and 10, Keselowski. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good race. There was a lot more passing than I was worried there would be, and it was exciting racing early in the run. Late in the runs, things got a little more spread out, and it was a little bit less exciting. However, for short track racing and what the current standard has been, I have to say it was an exciting race. I was happy to see a decent amount of beating and banging between the drivers, and also it looked like the drivers were struggling at times to keep the cars under control. Those things always contribute to good racing, and I was happy to see that. I really feel for the 5 team today. They absolutely dominated the majority of the race and then got taken out by something that really wasn't even their fault. I'm pretty sure today's race is going to take them out of the points lead, and unless I'm mistaken, the 9 of Chase Elliott is going to be the new points leader. Luckily for the 5 team, however, the other drivers in the top 5 also didn't have great races either, so I don't see them dropping any lower than second. That being said, I want to get into a new segment that I have for my race recaps, and that is going to be my overachievers. In this segment, I'm going to highlight drivers who finished or competed a lot better than what we may normally expect from them. This week, I have 2 drivers. The first one is going to be Justin Haley. When Justin Haley announced that he was going to go to Rick Ware Racing, most people questioned that move. However, he's been performing pretty well these past few weeks. In today's race, he had a 10th place finish in Stage 2 and finished the race in 13th place. That's a finish they have to be really happy with. However, the biggest overachiever from today's race has to be Josh Berry. Josh Berry finished Stage 1 in 5th place, Stage 2 in 2nd place, was leading early in Stage 3, and finished the race in the 7th position. I've really been liking what I've been seeing out of Josh Berry. In my opinion, I think he should be one of the top candidates to get the open seat at Joe Gibbs Racing next season. If he continues to have performances like he had today, he's going to have plenty of options for next year. Like I said, overall, I thought it was an exciting race, and it was a lot better than I was expecting. That being said, I want to know what you thought of this week's race. Do you want to see NASCAR go back to Iowa, or do you think it should be one and done? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. While you're there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make like Christopher and hit that bell so you can get notified on all of our latest NASCAR content. I appreciate you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.